Hey guys, so this is a video that's long overdue. It's something that I've wanted to talk about a little bit for years because it's one of the most common questions that I get, and it's about vegan protein powder. And before I start, I want to talk about a couple things, and one is that just like non-vegan protein powder, this should be a supplement to your diet. Nobody should be getting their main source of protein from a powder you want to try and eat. The protein in your diet is not too hard. Protein powder, especially for athletes, is incredibly helpful because of the high protein demand of the diet. It's a very easy way to just add 20-30 grams of protein at the end of your day if you're not getting it from your diet or if you're just exhausted from eating all day. So I do 1 scoop of protein at the end of the day. I try to get about 220, 240 grams of protein a day because I weigh between those two numbers usually and try and get about a gram of protein per pound of body weight. So I eat usually around 200 and 210 grams of protein in my diet, and then at the end of the day, along with 5 grams of creatine monohydrate, I also do a scoop of protein powder just to get that last 30 grams of protein or so. The other thing I want to talk about is inevitably when you talk about vegan protein powder, everyone's going to say, well, yeah, you need it. You know, vegans need a powder, they need to supplement their protein because you can't get it from your diet. And before I was vegan, I took the same exact amount of protein powder, 1 scoop a day. It's just an easy way for athletes that are vegan, athletes that are not vegan, to just get a little bit extra protein in your diet. It's not a necessity because you're vegan, it's a necessity because you're an athlete with abnormal protein demands. So, on that note, all the supplements that I take now, I took when I was not a vegan, with the exception of now I do an omega supplement. But when I was not vegan, it was 5 grams of creatine a day, and it was 1 scoop of protein powder a day, and pre-workout, and now it's exactly the same. The only thing that's different is that I use a vegan protein powder. So, on to the vegan protein powder. A lot of people, when they talk about protein powder, I feel like they put a lot of weight on how it tastes. And obviously it's important that it's palatable, but it's a protein powder. It's not supposed to be enjoyable, right? That's not the point of it. The point of the protein powder is to get you a lot of protein in a small amount of material. So, I do rate protein powders based on taste, but it's not very heavily rated. My rated are the quality of the contents, the protein content by volume, which is important. We'll get to that in a second, and the cost. A lot of people, basically all vegan protein powders are the same. They're made from the same 5 or so ingredients. There are certain companies that charge way too much for what they're selling, and there's no reason. There's no reason for it. There's no secret ingredient. It's protein. As long as it's protein that's getting you the good amino acid spread, then there's no difference. So what I mean by protein by volume is that one of the big ones, Vega, which I personally don't care for. I think that they're way overpriced. Their main selling point is, we have 30 grams of protein per serving, which sounds great because most of the protein powders are 20, 25, so it sounds like you're getting a good deal. But if you look at Vega's serving size, their serving size they have here is 41 grams. So it's a 41 gram scoop of protein powder for 30 grams protein. So I took what I use most of the time, which is True Nutrition. And by the way, I'm not currently sponsored by anybody. Nobody's paying me to make this video, recommend things over others. Currently, I'd love to be sponsored by somebody, but for right now, this is just my experience, what I use. So you'll see that this is 25 grams protein, so you would think that the Vega has more protein in it. This is a 30 gram scoop. So if you run the numbers on that, if I took 40 grams of this, I'd actually be getting 32.5 grams of protein, so it'd be more protein than what's in Vega. So a lot of the stuff out there, you got to be careful of the protein content versus how much they're asking you to take. If you're taking 50 grams of their powder, of course you're going to get more protein. So I know Vega is very popular. It's easy to find. It tastes okay, but I think that it's incredibly overpriced for what it is. There's no magic ingredient in it, and I think it's kind of deceptive to kind of suggest that their product has more protein than everybody else when it's just a larger serving size. Other brands like Orgain, again, easy to find. It's pretty well priced. One that I really like is from SAN. It's called not Raw Nutrition. Let's see, let me look it up because I haven't taken it in a while. Raw Fusion. Yeah, I like that one a lot. It tastes pretty good. It's still kind of pricey. So out of everything that I've tried, I keep coming back to True Nutrition because it ends up being about $10 a pound. If you look at Vega, you're going to get 2 pounds for about $40 retail price. So when it comes to True Nutrition, $10 a pound. You have to order online, it doesn't go in the store. But a couple things I like about it a lot are that you can customize the flavor. They have like 15 different flavors. So you pick your product, you pick what flavor you want, and then you can pick how intense you want the flavor. If you want the flavor super punched up, you can. If you want it pulled back, you want a little more subtle, you can do that as well. And they also have other things you can put in it for a small charge. So for example, what I do is my blend is a rice protein, soy protein, pea protein, and cranberry protein. And then I have the Essential Aminos Boost, the Branch Chain BCAA Boost, and then I put probiotics in there. Been hearing recently that probiotics is kind of like a multivitamin. You don't really need probiotics unless you're deficient in probiotics. It's better to get it from things like pickled foods, kimchi, sauerkraut, stuff like that. It's a great source of probiotics. But if you are not getting probiotics by eating the same foods every single day, I threw it in there. It was a couple cents per pound, and that ended up being about $11 per pound for all that. So I get that question a lot. Just want to make a quick video of what I generally go with and some things to look for when you're choosing a protein. Thank you.